As baseball season draws closer to an end, that means football season is right around the corner. And for my Cincinnati Bengals, this season will be a season of redemption. But will they be able to in fact get that redemption, and how will they do overall? Allow me to explain. Let's start with the defense, as that is where the biggest question mark on the team lies in Vontaze Burfict. Burfict is an absolute beast on the field, but he can get a little out of control as seen in last year's playoff meltdown. Because of that incident, he has been suspended for the first few games of the season. However, most of last year's stellar defense is returning, with the only notable exceptions being Reggie Nelson and Wallace Gilberry. The line should do well with Geno Atkins and Carlos Dunlap, and with guys like George Iloka, Adam Jones, and Dre Kirkpatrick in the secondary, I think the defense should be fine for the most part. As I said, the only big question mark on this defense is Vontaze Burfict, and the main concern is if Marvin Lewis can control his chaos. If he can, this defense will be unstoppable once he returns. If he can't though, then expect a lot more penalties and fines to be heading towards Vontaze Burfict's way. Moving on to the offensive side of the ball, let's start with the quarterback, Andy Dalton. Dalton made strides last year and was easily having his best season as the Cincinnati Bengals starting QB. He led the team to an impressive 8-0 record right out of the gates before a broken thumb shattered any dreams of a Lombardi trophy. As long as Dalton does not regress and continues to make strides similar to what he did last year, I think that he'll be fine in the field general position. There are some concerns though, as his big target Tyler Eifert, the tight end who had a breakout season last year, is hurt. He hurt his ankle in last year's Pro Bowl and has since to recover. He'll be out for the first few weeks of the season. Obviously, his ability to remain healthy throughout the course of the season will be a huge topic of discussion for Bengals fans, as Eifert is one of Dalton's go-to targets on the field. And speaking of go-to targets, Mohamed Sanu and Marvin Jones are no longer Bengals wide receivers. With Mohamed Sanu and Marvin Jones no longer Bengals, the team signed Brandon LaFell and drafted Tyler Boyd out of Pitt to be the number 2 and 3 wide receivers behind AJ Green. Boyd looks like he has all the makings of a breakout star in the NFL, and he could complement AJ Green really well on the field. Lastly though, the running back situation could be a bit of a concern for the team. I believe that Gio Bernard and Jeremy Hill are the best running back duo in the NFL. However, Hill has a notorious fumbling problem that was only magnified in last year's playoff loss. He definitely needs to get that under control if the Bengals want their rushing attack to be considered as a legitimate threat to go along with their passing attack. So does this Bengals team have enough talent to redeem themselves and potentially win in the first round of playoffs for the first time in over 25 years? Yeah, I think they do. Last year's team I thought had all the ability in the world to make it to the Super Bowl, but unfortunately that ability was squandered in that playoff meltdown. Hopefully though, this year's team learned from last year's debacle and they'll be able to move on and win in the postseason. I think they'll finish with a record of at least 11-5 despite their tough schedule, and as I said, I do think they'll get that first playoff win in over 25 years. If they can do that, then maybe a Super Bowl victory isn't too far-fetched. Hoo day.